done with.
Dude, you've been done.
I'm still here.
For what? Why? Because you just want to be a asshole.
You're right.
Then why the would you be in this competition? Bone face.
Why do you look 50 and you're 24?
What? What did he say? Go yourself, you.
Would you rather have the brand new PS5 or a weekend with these three lovely ladies and you do anything you want with them?
Wait, anything with them?
Like anything.
A whole weekend?
A whole weekend.
Damn, but the PS5 though, like it just dropped.
I know.
Ah, damn, y'all beautiful though, but
Hold on, what'd you say?
PS5 or us?
Oh,
bro, y'all beautiful, but I had a PlayStation 4 for 4 years, but I need a PS5.
Oh, God.
My nigga.
Y'all, so this dude came in my DM yesterday. He was like, "You're pretty, I'm trying to get to know you." He literally sent me $1,000 just to get to know me. And y'all literally sit here and think I'm gonna get to know y'all for free when somebody just paid me $1K for him to get to know me? Be so for real.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
Would you feel comfortable if your father was watching your OnlyFans and subscribing to it?
Probably not. No.
You would not feel comfortable, and I'll tell you why. That's because in your heart of hearts, in your soul, if you still got one, you know it's wrong. That's your work. In my work, if my mother consumed my work, I'd be thankful and pleased that she took an interest in my work and supported my work. If she bought my products, I'd be thankful. If your mother or father bought your products, you'd be disgusted and ashamed because you know what you're doing is wrong and the product of what you're doing is bad.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I got a question for you. Do you have car insurance?
100%. No reason.
All right. Do you have homeowners insurance?
100%.
Do you have life insurance?
100%.
Do you have medical insurance?
100%.
Did you get tired of your insurance agent talking about the possibilities of you losing your life and being rewarded? Hold on for a second. I know, but don't be a butt person. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. You have insurances. Although it's a very uncomfortable situation, and life insurance people who sell it tend to be scumbags. They tend to be looked at as scumbags, like, I don't want to have this conversation about me dying, but you surely will die. So you better have the conversation. The reality is, yes, it's a very tough conversation. I have to spend a lot of time talking about it. It's very difficult. However, there needs to be some insurance, and there's no insurance, and so we must talk about it.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Cali West. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're feeling this shit. Now, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I was planning on coming on later on tonight, but we're gonna see how that works. But one thing I had to just do is just finalize this whole Karmelo Anthony situation until the case is officially closed, because there's still people talking bullshit. And with that being said, we need to bring up the facts. Now, y'all might know, well, matter of fact, let me shout out my homeboy XL Pro. He comes through in the chat. And the reason why I'm addressing this is because me and Donovan Sharp had a big disagreement about, why everything transpired. Donovan Sharp was on, he was on a tangent that, because, he's from the ghetto and because he's black is what made him stab this young man. I vehemently went against it. I told Donovan Sharp and other people that it's too early to make accusations and say what's going on, because at that point, about 2 weeks ago from today, no one knew anything. All they knew was a black kid stabbed a white kid. So everyone's going to tangent about, why is he bringing a knife to school? Blah, 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 blah. But of course, he had a bond for $1 million, and essentially his bond was reduced. His bond was reduced from $1 million to $250,000. And what's ironic is even though they have garnered $400,000 in donations, the family has yet to remove that money, and they're actually utilizing their own money for his defense, as well as maybe even buying a new home and moving out the community. Why? Because they have been receiving death threats. And you can imagine just how people have been acting. The fact that you haven't seen any white people come out and denounce Metcalf, but you've seen black people, you see black people arguing with other black people about whether, he did it or not. It says a lot, speaks volumes. Now, of course, there's been a lot of shit going on. So we're going to hear what the mama had to say about the situation. And then I'm going to add some more insight on this. Check it.
Address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. Let me be clear. The claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser.
See? Now, she might be making an emotional plea, but it's still, that doesn't mean that it's not, true. Now, Martell Sincere says, unfortunately speaking, that being in the music business that I learned negativity sells. Facts, that is true. I do believe that a lot of people who were basically, baiting for him to get arrested and stuff were essentially just people who were just, just basically trying to monopolize on basically, people's racial, looks at things, Now, one of the things I bring that up, I'm glad that you actually mentioned that because it's definitely true. I mean, we're not going to sit there and complain, but is it truth? We understand that, unfortunately, black men were usually guilty until proven innocent. Now, with that being said, let's see here. Now, this is something that I was arguing about with Donovan Sharp last week, or not last week, but the week before last. Essentially, the background of this kid. And y'all can look it up yourselves, but it is known fact that his coach has even vouched for him that the Metcalfs actually jumped him and beat him up already. And so with that being said, if the coach is aware that the Metcalfs had jumped him and beat him up before, and other people are aware of that, there's a possibility that the school district could be responsible for this. So whether Karmelo Anthony is found guilty or innocent, there's a possibility that the family could still sue the school, the school district or the school themselves. Why? Because they knew they had a prejudiced boy picking on a black dude and they did nothing of it. So if they didn't put enough security in place to handle that, that's on them. Carmelo Anthony obviously was already physically assaulted from them based off of what the coach is saying. So if the school failed to protect Anthony and keep his in safekeeping, then guess what? Regardless of whether y'all believe someone shouldn't have a weapon on school property or not, he still had a right as a human to still take care of himself first. So much that, and I have to be honest with you, this case, there's a lot of things that people don't know. And I know that a lot of people are not viewing, and that's okay. Because the truth is, I don't give a fuck. Y'all ain't gotta view this shit. Like I said, I was trying to close it up. And this don't even have to be a long video. But I don't mean I'm still not gonna say what I gotta say. Because somebody gotta say it. Now, with that being said, at the end of the day, it appears that the whole case is falling apart. Because if he already put hands on him before and it's already documentation that he had put hands on him, they should have made sure that they covered Metcalf, or they should have made sure that they covered Metcalf and made sure he should have got in trouble, he should have got arrested or reprimanded or anything. Maybe they arrested Metcalf for harassment. Maybe he'll be alive to this day. But guess what? See, the thing is, because he's one of the good old boys that wanted to let him slide until his ass died. Straight up. Demetrius Hendricks says, what's up, West Miami? What's up, G? Shout out to you, Demetrius Hendricks. Thanks for tuning in, my G. Now, yeah, man, at the end of the day, this whole case is actually falling all apart for the prosecution. And truth is, see, this is just my opinion, but I would bet a fat sack that, one, the first judge who was trying to throw the book at him. See, well, what I believe, if you ask me what I believe, is that I don't know if they're attorney, I don't know who maybe threatened the courts, but basically there was like, what I believe is the fact that they was going to be exposed for discrimination. And guess what? Frisco does not want to be exposed for discrimination. They have a prominent white neighborhood, They do not want to be known as a racist neighborhood harboring, hillbillies and locking up ninjas. So what I do believe is, I truly believe that Carmelo Anthony, was only guilty of self-defense. But what I find ironic is Texas is the same place where in 2005, a white neighbor who knew his neighbors were out of town gunned down 2 black robbers who were robbing the house, even though he knew no one was home. He gunned them down because essentially he didn't want them to get away. And essentially he said, if y'all run, I'm going to shoot y'all down. And since they tried to run, and he shot them boys down. But guess what? He didn't go to jail. Mind you, he wasn't protecting himself. He wasn't protecting his property. He was protecting his neighbor's property that he knew that was out of town. And he still took these black men's lives, right? Now, some people say, oh, well, they were robbing from the house. And what if, they went to her house and somebody was in there? They could have killed them. If ifs were fifths, we would all be drunk. Unfortunately, the law does not apply to just in case or, just in case, right? We're all about definite. Self-defense is when someone's trying to cause bodily harm to you and you have a right to defend yourself, even including deadly force. Y'all can't change the rules just because it's a black man. Well, I truly believe that this case is probably going to get thrown out or not thrown out. But I believe that he's going to be vindicated. And I believe that the only reason why they even try to put it through a trial is just to kind of play politics. But I truly believe that he's going to get off. I really truly believe that he's going to get off. Shit, the attorney's probably threatened to even sue the school district. XL Pro says, right on target, bingo. He says it's spooky. Demetrius Hendricks says, yeah, I didn't know that's messed up. Yeah, see? Civil suit possibly. Right, XL Pro. I truly believe, here's the thing, if the school already knew that Metcalf was beating up on Carmelo Anthony, and they did nothing about it. They didn't suspend Metcalf. They didn't reprimand him. They didn't call the cops on him, and they still allowed this bully to start bullying. Because I thought, I thought bullying was against the law. I thought bullying was just as bad as bringing a knife to school. See, but what happened was they didn't do anything about it. And I truly believe that if all the details come out, the school could be held liable because they could have made sure that the school police would have talked to him or Metcalf or anything. Because what? Because he's a good old boy. They didn't do all that. So I think it will probably be worse for this case to get nasty than them just let him slide and just call a loss. Why you think else Metcalf's father crashed? He tried to crash the press conference that they had when he finally came out to speak. He tried to crash that. Why do you think he tried to crash that? And why do you think he tried to crash it? Why do you think he was even there? Because truth be told, he himself knows. There's something that he knows. Maybe they're saying the N-word online on social media. Y'all remember that post I posted from Instagram? Maybe they'll say some N-words, and maybe they already have, racism in their past. And guess what? I truly believe that this dude's gonna walk. Like, I truly believe that this dude's gonna walk. And that might be the reason why the family's getting death threats and have to move anyway, because the truth is, I think they know that he's gonna walk. Trust me, I truly believe that there is some politics behind it, and fortunately for him, the politics might be on his side. Whoever the mayor is of Frisco, they must be trying to run for governor in 2026 or something. I don't know. But they do not want Frisco to be mapped as a racist ass town. That's what I believe. And guess what? And it starts to look like, these Metcalf dudes were some motherfucking racists, bro. That's what it is. That's what I truly believe.
Emotional damage.
I know there's certain people who are talking bad about Karmelo Anthony, who might not agree with me, but they ain't posting no videos about it no more. They ain't posting no videos about it because they know, they're saying all that racist shit, talk about, he was doing some nigga shit, and people agreeing with Charleston White, a known murderer. Charleston White and his friends killed a white man over a motherfucking starter jacket, bro. And we're gonna listen to Charleston White to say that this young man should go to jail, bro. Are y'all fucking serious, bro? Y'all can't fucking be serious. Charleston White, a dude who him and his boys killed someone over a starter jacket. We're gonna take his word that Karmelo Anthony should go to jail. Charleston White is a fucking idiot. As a matter of fact, I used to actually kind of like Charleston White. I don't like Charleston White anymore. He's a fucking goddamn idiot to me. And it has nothing to do with him, attacking people for snitching and all that. Hey, them gangsters or whatever niggas who we talk about that snitching bullshit or non-snitching, they could get it too. But fuck them and fuck Charleston White. Say that. But both of them, gang members and Charleston White, are bad for the community. And yes, Demetrius Hendricks, he is bailed out right now. And guess what? A lot of black people, I hate it too. See, black people, we're so ignorant sometimes. A lot of black people, there's some black people like coming out with like videos claiming that, they just wanted to donate that, they just want to donate money, and they just want to just take off with your donation money. The truth is that one, not only have they not withdrawn any money from the donation bin, but two, see, black people, come a little closer. Black people. There are some black people who don't act like you niggas, because intelligent black people, they move like intelligent white people. They save money for a rainy day. They didn't go spend all their money on weed and liquor. They didn't go spend all their money. And I'm trying to make it this race thing, but I have to kind of call it out. Black people, just because a black person has the ability to move and buy a new house, does that make them being a shyster or a robber or a thief or trying to scam anybody? It's just that there are black people who are prepared for a rainy fucking day. Carmelo Anthony's father, they have like, I think he's like 1 of 3 or 1 of 4 children. They have other children. And guess what? When you have your shit together and you have enough money to move into those neighborhoods, you're going to have money to fall back on just in case something bad happens, just in case you have to go back, get off of work. So I just hate with this shit that I be seeing on YouTube with black people just saying stupid ass shit. Demetrius Henry says, yeah, he's still trying to stand up for his brother like you always do, just like his mom said. Facts. Demetrius Henry says, Charleston White, he ain't nothing but all talk. Yeah, he ain't nothing but all talk, eh? You know, he just a country bumpkin. He's just an ignorant country bumpkin. XL Pro says $. Yeah, you gotta have your chicken bag up. JJ Diesel says, good evening, Kelly West in the chat. Fill me in, please. Man, you gotta press the replay, G. All I'm doing is just going over. I'm really just going over all the facts that we already know. Remember when Donovan Sharp was basically talking about how, Carmelo Anthony, he was doing some nigga shit and how he deserved to go to jail. Well, apparently it looks like that it is appearing to be that not only did he get bailed out, the bail went down from $1 million to $250,000, but also, the fact that his dad even showing up, Metcalf's dad showed up to Carmelo Anthony's press conference and all that. That just from showing telltale signs that this dude might fuck around and walk. Because if he wasn't going to walk, why is Jeffrey Metcalf going to the? Why is he going to the? Why is he like? I don't know if he was planning to do something dangerous or do something crazy, but why did he come to the press conference? I believe he came to the press conference because, at this point he can't really do anything. It looks like he's gonna get off for the murder. Like I truly believe that he probably heard from the investigators that the prosecutor's probably gonna fucking let his ass fuck off. They're probably gonna give his ass a slap on the wrist, probation for having a knife at school or some shit like that, and he's probably gonna walk. That's probably why they're getting death threats. That's the reason why the family's getting death threats. The reason why the family's getting death threats is because, white America, see the thing, white America, and I'm not taking shots at just white people, okay? Not all white people are like this. But ironically, most white people I have to say, white people have been very quiet about this as far as defending Carmelo Anthony, I should say. But you hear a lot of white people defending Metcalf. But with that being said, one thing I'll just say to white America is that, when you bite, when you eat, when you bite from the poisonous tree, you're gonna get poisoned too. At the end of the day, this whole stand your ground and I have a right to use deadly force if I'm, in physical harm. You can't, they tend to want to, give, self-defense to white people, but then give murder to black people. Unfortunately, it appears, unlike what Charleston White said, it appears that the administration already knew, and Metcalf was supposed to be handled accordingly, but they weren't. And Carmelo Anthony had to take matters in his own hands, point blank. Because let's take away from the fact that he was at school. Let's take the fact that he was from a practice. In Texas, he has a right to stab somebody to death if they attack him. So, yeah, man, that's just basically about it, man. I wasn't planning to spend all day over there. Matter of fact, your boy is probably going to come on a little later on tonight. We're going to see, you know what I'm saying? But I really want to just get this out of the way because I kind of want to close this chapter. Because I have to be honest with you, until he gets out of jail or until this case is closed, I'm probably not going to talk about it anymore. It's about time I start moving on, talk about these relationships like I do and talk my shit. You know what I mean? I kind of like to make people laugh. I don't like to get too serious sometimes. But hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. JJ Diesel, Cowboy Traveler, says our people are considered to be 3/5 human, so I'm not surprised. Well, one thing that's sad to say is I can honestly say that racism does not affect us like how it used to. But, to say that racism doesn't exist, I'll be a liar. You know what I'm saying? It definitely does, show its ugly head. It definitely shows its ugly head. And, and what I believe, and I ended with this, I truly believe the city of Frisco is going to let them walk. I believe that there's too much things. If, if we come to find out that the schools were, letting, Metcalf say racist stuff and they're letting it slide, it can make Frisco look really, really, really bad. So it's almost in their best interest to go ahead and maybe let him slide and just kind of just slide it. Hopefully everybody just forget versus then let this turn into something worse for them. JJ says it's in the Constitution. Right. When you talk about the right to bear arms, I'm sure it is. But that's what I'm saying. Like, but in Texas, especially out of Texas, man, there's too many times that people in Texas shot people over property and stuff like that and then go to jail. So, the good thing is that, I think white America, even Black America was surprised was that the Anthonys were prepared. They were financially prepared to, help out their son, and they're financially prepared to get the hell out of Dodge when shit got bad. Most Black people, we tend to deal with bullshit because we don't have enough money. But in this case, they got enough money to put their money where their mouth is. All to the point that the school want to expel him. You'll think, if he's up to murder, if he's up for murder, the last thing the school should be thinking about is trying to expel anybody. But why the school want to expel him? The school want to expel him because they know his ass might walk. So that's just their own way. That's just their own little way of punishing them. Kind of like O.J. Simpson. They couldn't find him criminally, guilty. So they found him criminally negligent in a civil suit to take his money. JJD says, I was referring to the people are only considered thief-fit humans in the Constitution. Oh, yeah, that too. I mean, supposedly that's amended, but, at the end of the day, I don't really care what's in the Constitution or not. At the end of the day, just because you're Black, see, here's the thing. What's kind of messed up is when you're Black and you stand up for yourself, you're being aggressive, you're being dangerous. But if a white man stands up for himself, with his fists clenched up, and he's not gonna take no shit, he's daring, he's stoic, he's all these things, And what I'm really surprised about though is that in 2025, Black people and white people alike let the media, let the news medias control their thoughts to the point that they'll say that Donald Trump is not guilty for the 34 sexual SA counts that he has, but then they'll believe everything that the police had to say about Karmelo Anthony's case. What kind of shit is that? Now, with that being said, Excel process social engineering, the media, facts. And then JJD says, I stand up for myself regardless of the situation and threat. Got to. Me too. Like, it's so crazy because at work, like one of my supervisors, he was like, oh, if somebody's talking shit at work or whatever, or somebody's cursing on the phone, cursing at me on the phone or whatever like that, oh, just hang up or whatever, right? And me, I'm not about to do all of that. Look, I don't care about company policy. You curse at me, conversation done. And if you really want to curse at me, come in person and do it to my motherfucking face. But I don't have to take them cursing. I don't give a fuck if you're spending money with us or not. Look, here's the thing. I don't care if you curse. If you say, man, I don't know why this shit is not working. I don't care if you say that. But once you say to me, why the fuck are you, or you aim foul language towards me, man, you getting fucking hung up the fuck on, bruh. And I'm not going to do shit. And if you got a problem with it, come into the office and say it to my motherfucking face. But guess what? Y'all not. Because most people are motherfucking pussies.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
So at this point, my supervisor, he could say whatever the fuck he's going to say. Because you know what? Ninja, you about the same age as me. And real talk,
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Now, I ain't gonna say I don't like my job because I definitely enjoy my job. But one thing about a job is the job is replaceable. You feel me? Like look, here's the thing. I would rather take 2 weeks off of work and look for another job than go be at a job and know in my heart and look in my face every morning when I wake up and look in the mirror when I brush my teeth that somebody disrespected me, bro. Hey, real talk. Hey, dishonor is worth 1,000 deaths. And I know I ain't even lying, bro. For real. Shit. Respect me.
Nigga, please.
Shit.
You ain't lying.
Now, I got some time to kind of party and bullshit with y'all. I might come back on later on tonight, maybe. Maybe at like 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, maybe. But we're going to see. Because I've been meaning to talk about that Tracy Ellis Ross situation. But I'm probably going to talk about that either later on tonight or tomorrow morning. We'll see how the vibe go. I really wanted to do 2 videos tonight. We're going to see how it go. But I think there was another video that I did want to show y'all though. Since we're here and I got y'all boys time. Let's see here. JJ Jesus says, I got a smart mouth for people who try to get out of line at me. Plus, I have a very powerful temper. I will speak my mind and give a person a chance to straighten up or regret the whole mess. Facts. Facts. Hey, facts. Look, here's the thing. You know what I realized too, JJ Diesel? Life is either too short or too long to be taking people's bullshit, if that makes any sense. You know, I got too much stuff going on. I got to go make sure I work. I got to make sure I pay bills. I got to make sure I stay alive, make sure I stay healthy. Last thing I'm going to do is deal with some peon little goofy ass bullshit with somebody trying to think that they could disrespect me. And I ain't gonna lie. I actually welcome, I had to say this, you know, as a kid, I think I was scared of confrontation, you know, because I ain't gonna lie, you know, as a little kid, you know, because I lived in a bad neighborhood, you know, my parents just wanted me to get out the house. But of course, luckily, you know, they ended up getting their paper together and moved me into a better neighborhood. So then I was able to kind of venture out and kind of get my street, you know, my sea legs. I was able to get, you know, get on the streets and kind of see what's going on. But I can honestly say that I was definitely, I would honestly say that I probably was afraid of confrontation as a kid. You know, always want someone to like me and stuff like that. But you know what's crazy? At 45 years old, well, I find it's crazy when I see adults still doing that bullshit. Me now, here's the thing. I'm not saying I can't get along with everybody. I guess I can if there's a end game at hand. I'm a very good people person, very good at sales, love to talk. But guess what? If you disrespect me, I don't give a fuck. I'll cuss your ass out. I'll tell you who the fuck you are. I don't give a fuck who you are. Look, you could be my manager. You could be my manager. You could be my boss. You could be my supervisor. Hey, it's just a fucking job. You're not gonna disrespect me. I'm not a little boy. I'm a grown ass man. You're gonna respect me. I don't give a fuck if you're the cops. I don't give a fuck if you're my boss. I don't give a fuck if you're my daddy. I don't give a fuck if you're my mama. I don't give a fuck if you're my granny. As long as you respect me, I'm gonna respect you. And you know, and look, and I'm gonna say this right now. And some people, I don't know what it is, but when you check people, it does straighten them up, JJ Diesel. It does straighten them up. And you say you agree. Facts. And people, I realize too, people will fuck with you just because they can. Not because they have to, but just because they can. So guess what? What you do is just let them know that they can't. JJ Diesel's Cowboy Travis says, I tell people that I'm 45, not 5. Facts. It's a weird it's a weird dynamic, you know. You know. But people are quick to disrespect you if you don't stand your ground. That's why I ain't gonna lie, I don't have a bunch of friends, you know, but I have some good friends, and those some good friends don't have to disrespect me, and I respect them, and we get along, and we have had, you know, friendships for like years and years and years. You know, I actually believe that someone's not really a friend if you can't tell them the real. If your friend can't wrong you and apologize or, you know, do the right thing by you, they don't need to be your friends. Now, with that being said, talk about friends. This woman, she's looking for her special friend. Check her out.
I'm currently looking for a boyfriend. I pay all the bills, his and mine. He get a $500 weekly allowance. Depending on what kind of car he already has, I'll buy him a 2025 or better. I don't have any kids. My job, I'm an entrepreneur. I fly in and out of the country on the regular. You can cheat, but I ask that you let me know, and y'all take STD tests so won't none come back to me. I love real hard, and I don't play no games. I don't even play the radio. I like riding silence. So if you for real and you looking for a girlfriend, I'm looking for a boyfriend. Hit me up.
Yo.
Shit.
Hey, yo. Shout out to the Nasty Boys. You know, when your boys say shout out to the Nasty Boys, you're going to say something nasty, right? So shout out to Coach Greg Adams and the Nasty Boys and the Free Agent Lifestyle. You know, when I give the disclaimer I'm a nasty boy, you know what that means, right? Y'all already know what that means.
You want to put that pussy on me, put it on me.
I wouldn't want to be her boyfriend or nothing. But, yo, she's not a bad-looking chick. She's actually pretty good-looking. The only problem is that, hey, y'all know I like to smoke and all, bruh. But, yo, she even more blow than I am, bruh. Look at her. It looks like she went to sleep smoking a blunt, and she woke up smoking a blunt. It looks like she brushed her teeth with a blunt and ate a blunt for breakfast, bruh. Like this chick, look, I'm almost 100% sure that she probably does a little bit more than just some trees. She probably do some cocoa with. She probably be lacing her trees with 2C, bruh. But dude, look at her. Look, this. That's some hard hours in a hard life. And yeah, she's making a lot of money as a traveling nurse, but just best believe she's not. Those circles of eyes from her work hours, her stress, and the fact that she's getting more. She's getting plucked more than a guitar string, bruh. Yo, you know, if you get with this traveling nurse, right? Even though she's breaking bread on you, you know she's gonna want you not to cheat on her while she's traveling out of town, sleeping with other men, right? Yeah, like you know she's gonna cheat on you, right? You know her high ass, she's gonna cheat on you.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
JJ Diesel, you a fool. You said zombie. Walking Dead looking ass bitch. JJ Diesel, yeah, you can tell she smoked Newports. JJ Diesel said, I used to be quiet type, I used to be the quiet type, quiet shy type, and still am to a degree. Since I started driving trucks, it took me a lot of my shyness out of me. I'm quick to put people in their places these days. I slam with facts. Gotta be, man. Hey, man, I love it, too. I love it. XL Pro, when he seen her, he said,
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Yeah, XL Pro said he ain't fucking with that. But let's just be real. I don't know how her body look, but yo, like, if it wasn't for her, you know what I'm saying, for her not getting any sleep, she's a good looking chick. But guess what? Unfortunately, she's one of those chicks who waited too long. She waited till all her eggs, because she would have made some pretty babies in, back in the day. But guess what? She waited too long, because that's what they do. A lot of these chicks, they will waste their time, on their career and chasing certain type of dudes until they end up, with no kids. And guess what? I'm going to hate to say this too. You think, as much as you think her zombie ass, just have no kids for no reason, trust me, there's a couple of abortions up in there. There's a couple of termination of pregnancies in there, so sometimes you see these chicks and you be like, oh, wow, she's kind of good looking. Oh, she got all this ass and she's so thick, but she ain't got no kids. Best believe she got ghost babies, bro. She got ghost babies.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
JJ Diesel says her eggs got cobwebs and spoiled like old fish. Sheesh.
But shh, don't tell nobody.
But yeah, you heard her though. She's looking for a little boyfriend or whatever. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna buy him a new car and all that. Y'all really think she's gonna buy a dude a new car though? You really think she's gonna buy a new car?
Silence, you funny fool! I've had it with your whining and bumbling.
I don't think she's gonna do that off rip, but it's probably something that she probably would do. But you know what she want, right? You know what she really want, right?
That all up in me at one time. Don't try to make me take all that dick at one time.
Slow and easy.
He said, don't worry. I wouldn't do that to you. I would not rush all this dick up in you at one time. I'm going to take it easy on you. She said, okay, I think I can take it. So he laid down. The nigga rushed all that dick up in her.
Jammed it in her then.
Jammed and round.
Like Jam City.
All kind of dick up in that girl at one time.
Dang.
And took her breath some more.
Yeah, that's what she's looking for, bruh. She's looking for that pound town, bruh. You know what I'm saying? She trying to bring some life back into her zombie
She won't put that pussy on me, put it on me.
Wait till I talk about that Tracy Ellis Ross. I might talk about it tonight. I might just talk about it tomorrow. But we're going to talk about that. Yes, we are. I promise we're going to definitely talk about that. JJG says, like toe jam. That jammed and rammed. Shit. Oh. Now, women are never satisfied.
Be careful about what I say about Orlando.
Well, that wasn't the video I was going to refer to. I thought it was another video. But that's okay. That's all right. Now, I don't know. Let's see here. What was I showing y'all? I'm trying to think. I ain't gonna lie. I think that's just about it. Other than, man, watch out.
Hurry up and put it in because we only got 15 minutes left on our break. Hello? Yeah, babe. I'm sorry. I didn't even get to go on my break yet. I was supposed to go on my break, but this girl went before me. Alright. Okay. Alright. Love you too. Bye.
Bruh, homeboy was about to put it in, bruh. He was finna put it in, bruh. Yo, he was finna put it in.
Got it, girl. Drop her.
Yeah, you be wondering why your girl be wanting to do that overtime, and she don't be having no extra money. She still be asking for money, even though she be doing overtime. That's what she be doing. That's what she be doing. She be at work late, bruh.
Who?
About to straight get it in. And I'm gonna be honest with you, y'all. Any of y'all who deal with any chick out there in these streets, man, they got a boyfriend. If any chick doesn't even honest with you and say, man, I am sleeping with this guy, she a motherfucking lie. All these hoes got boyfriends. Even the ones who you think ain't got a boyfriend. She got a boyfriend, bro. Gotta watch out here. These girls crazy. But yo, check this out. JJD says most of my jokes are based on sarcasm. Hey, most of my jokes are based off of facts. But yo, man, I appreciate y'all boys for tuning in. Like I said, I might come back on a little later on tonight. If not, Y'all can always catch your boy tomorrow. Once again, it's Cali West. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're feeling this shit. Holla at your boy. Peace.